In this video, I'm going to show you how to run YOLO using the Logitech USB camera with edge devices like the Raspberry Pi, the RDK-X3, or the RDK-X5, or even something like the Jetson Nano. So this RDK-X5 board is basically the Raspberry Pi, but with AI compute power. So we're going to be using these for this video. So all the steps I'm showing you today will work for any of the boards that I just mentioned. So right here, I am running YOLO without any optimization for edge devices. And you can see that the performance is very bad. There's a lot of lag because some of the parameters that's set up and the code that's written is not meant for embedded devices like Raspberry Pis, Jetson Nanos, and things like that. So you're going to see the performance is pretty slow. And typically, if you want any sort of real-time behavior, using code like this is not going to work. So what you want to do is actually do some optimization so that the performance can be much faster. Now this right here is optimized for edge device, and you can see YOLO is running way faster than it did before. So we're seeing about frames per second at 3 to 4 frames per second, which is a significant improvement from before. So if you want any sort of real-time application, this is the type of optimization that you need. So you can see how much better the performance is right now. So now let's go ahead and take a look to see how we can actually optimize our YOLO for edge devices. By the way, if you're new to the software side of robotics, make sure to check out my Master AI and Robotics bundle on my website where you get to learn ROS, OpenCV, computer vision using AI, Python, and C++. It's a great way to jumpstart your career in robotics software engineering. So go ahead and check it out on my website. It's going to be at kevinwoodrobotics.com. I'm going to leave a link in the video description, so go ahead and check it out. And make sure to check out some of my latest videos on my YouTube channel as well. So we're going to be using the NCNN, which you could read up on here, but this basically will convert your YOLO model that was written in PyTorch, and it's going to convert it into a version that's suitable for embedded applications. So it's developed by Tencent. You could go ahead and read up on it, but it's great if you want to speed up your applications. So here we're in VS Code. The first function I wrote is called convert to NCNN. So if I jump into this, you can see the core of this logic is very simple. It only requires 2 lines of code here. So you're going to call your model equals YOLO. This is going to be the YOLO model that you want to choose. Here I'm using YOLO 11. I think this will work for other YOLO models as well. So go ahead and test it out. And all you got to do is just call model.export and then say format equals NCNN. When you run this command, what it's going to do is it's going to download your YOLO model here. And then after it downloads it, when you run the second line here, the export, it's going to create this folder for you called YOLO11n underscore NCNN model. And you're going to have these files here called like the metadata, the model NCNN, and then the model.ncnn.bin and the param file. So to actually use the model that it generated, all you have to do is call the YOLO command and then call YOLO11n NCNN model, which is the model that it generated, and then we could use that model. So you can see here I'm using supervision to do some of my annotations. The way it works is very simple. You can see I'm using detections equals sv.detections from Ultralytics. So this detections is going to get passed into some of my annotators here. So I'm creating a label annotator using the sv.label annotator. And then from there, I have an annotated frame, and I'm going to call the label annotator, which I just created, and then call the annotate function. And here, this is where I pass in my detections. And then once I do that, I can also call a box annotator, and this will create the boxes for me. And the same thing, I pass in my annotated frame and my detections, and then it'll display it for my images. So you can go ahead and come to their website and read up more on it, but this is a great way to get started. All you need to do is just have pip install supervision and you can get started. They have a lot of documentation on how to actually get started, so go ahead and check it out. And this will be great to customize your annotation if you want to do some more customization in terms of how you want your layout to look like. So now you can see I'm running my YOLO model using NCNN in real time, and you can see the performance is pretty good. It's running at 3 to 4 frames per second. Now you might be wondering about the RDK boards that I was using. So this one is the RDK-X3. This one right here is the RDK-X5. We have a RDK-X3 case along with the RDK-X3 camera. So let's go ahead and look at each one here. So this one right here, the RDK-X3, this is the board that we have here. What this board features, let's take a quick look at the specs, is you can see that this comes with a 4 A53 CPU. We have 5 TOPS BPU. We have 2 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes of memory. We have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You have to use a 5 volt or 3 volt Type-C power supply, and then it has an Ethernet port. And we'll go take a look at some of the ports right here. So let's go ahead and open this up. So it looks a lot like the Raspberry Pi, but I would say the main difference here is that the 5 TOPS that it offers. So there's some AI compute power to this. So you can see here we have the standard ports here, the USBs, the Ethernet, and you can see right here, this right here will be for the camera module that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then right here we have our USB-C ports, and then this part is going to be the HDMI port. We have the GPIO pins, and then on the back you can see this is where you would access the micro SD card. Okay, and the way you would flash it would be the same way as you would do for the Raspberry Pi. Okay, now let's take a look at the RDK-X3 camera module here. So if we look at the back, there's some information on this. So we have a 400 watt rolling shutter. This is compatible with the RDK-X3, which we talked about. So let's take a look at what's inside of here. So let's open it from the side. I already took it out of the packaging, so you're just gonna see it already opened up. But you can see right here, this is the camera. So it's a nice camera here. We have a little cover that you can take off. So when you take it off, you can see this is a camera lens. And then on the back, this is gonna be the place where you would put the cables. So this cable here, what you wanna do is you just wanna lift it a little bit here. So in the back, this black part, I already lifted this, but you just have to lift it up and then make sure you have the cable pointing down and then just put it in. So once it's all the way in, what you want to do is just push this black part down, and then this will secure it together. All right, so when it's fully assembled, it should look something like this. So then we'll go ahead and put that on in just a little bit to the actual board. Now, before I actually put this on, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the case here. So this is the RDK-X3 case. So let's take a look at what's inside of here. So we can open it from the side, and we can see that this is going to be a metal case here. So you can see this is how it looks like. It's pretty nice and sturdy. It's also a little pad here for one of the chips on there. So this pretty much acts like a heat sink. So let's go ahead and unscrew these so we could put it on. So this is how it looks like without the screws on, and you can see that it's pretty nice metal here. And let's go ahead and see how this fits. So you can see that there's 4 holes here, and what you want to do is just match those four holes up together. So it's going to look something like this. And then for the top cover, you notice that this is going to be the part that's going to be in contact with the main processing unit, which you could use this pad for. But before I put the pad on, you can see that it's supposed to fit something like this, okay? So let's go ahead and put that pad on and then put the screws on. So first we'll do the pad. So when the pad's on, it should look something like this. And then you just want to make sure that the pad is going to be in contact with the correct spot. So it should go directly on top here. And it should fit like this. Make sure the holes are aligned and then just push it down. You can see that is in contact like that. And then we go ahead and put the screws on. So you can see once the screws are on, this is how it should look like, and it's fully assembled. If you want to attach the camera on, you could go ahead and put it in here and then just insert this and push it down. All right, so now let's take a look at the RDK-X5. So with this one, what we have is we have 8 times A55 CPU. We have 10 TOPS of BPU for AI compute. We have 32 gigaflops of GPU, and there's a 4 and 8 gigabytes of RAM option. We also have a one-time CAN FD option, and this uses a 5 volt, 5 amp power supply. So this is pretty nice. The one I got right here, this is the 8 gigabyte. So let's take a look at the actual board now. So if we open this up, you can see that there's a lot of similarities. So the general structure is very similar to the X3. The main difference is like the CAN port, for example, that we mentioned, which is this port up here. There's more USB ports because if you compare with this other one, this one only has 3, this one has 4. This is all the high-speed 3.0 ones. We also have the GPIO pins, which is going to be similar. And you can see that some of the side ports here are also pretty much the same. One thing to note is that there's 2 camera ports here, so this is good if you want to do stereo vision. And then on the back part, there's this part for display, so this is for a low level connection to your display if you don't want to use the HDMI for like a LCD screen, for example. Okay, so now we're ready to take a look at how to actually run this on this device. We have the micro SD, which we're going to flash the operating system on here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so what you want to do is come to this website here, drobotics.github.io. And then here, this is going to be the install iOS tab here. You want to choose the one you're working with. This one is the RDK-X5. So you can scroll down and you can see these are some of the instructions. Come here to the download image. It's going to take you to this page here. Go ahead and click on RDK-X5. I'm going to choose the newest one, go to release, and then go ahead and download the first one here. Now go ahead and use Balena Etcher and then choose your SD card and the image that you just downloaded and then click flash and let it start running. All right, so now you should have everything you need to get started with the RDK board.